Hey, ready?
Yes.
Okay. Good morning to you. Let me read from Mark chapter 2, verses 15 through 17. It says, Later, Levi invited Jesus and his disciples to his home as dinner guests, along with many tax collectors and other disreputable sinners. There were many people of this kind among Jesus' followers. But when the teachers of religious law, who were Pharisees, saw him eating with tax collectors and other sinners, they asked his disciples, "Why does he eat with such scum?" When Jesus heard this, he told them, "Healthy people don't need a doctor, sick people do. I have come to call not those who think they are righteous, but those who know they are sinners." There's just a few random thoughts that stuck in my mind as I read through this passage today. This is the passage that just kind of rose to the surface, and there's just a couple of different thoughts that kind of came out of it. First of all, there's Levi, Matthew. Matthew, who writes the first gospel that we have, that Matthew. He was a tax collector. And we kind of know that, we hear that, but sometimes we just stop thinking about that. He was a tax collector. Now, the way it worked then was that a tax collector was, quote, hired. He was given a certain area, and his job was to provide a certain amount of money to the king or to the ruling authority. And so they were required to gather that much money from all the people in that area and pass that along. Well, the way that the tax collector would make their living is that they would charge an amount over that, and it would become theirs. And really, the authorities didn't care how much they charged over. They didn't care how much they charged the people. They just wanted to make sure that they got their portion. So the government gets their portion, and then the tax collector can charge whatever they want above that, and it becomes their own. I mean, no wonder these guys were hated. Most publicans would gather much more than was required and pad their pockets at the people's expense. They were basically extortionists. That's what they were. They would extort money from people, a lot more than what was required. That's who Jesus chose as his disciple. That's who wrote the first gospel. It says, there were many people of this kind among Jesus' followers. It would have been scandalous enough just to have one disciple like Matthew. But Mark says here, Jesus had many. Now, Matthew's gospel doesn't include that. But Mark says, oh yeah, there were bunches of these kind of guys who were following Jesus. The question, why does he eat with such scum? It sounds kind of harsh to us, but can we really blame the Pharisees from feeling like this, at least some of that feeling? Wouldn't this be exactly how many of the people in church today would react? If the pastor or a deacon were in the home of a meth dealer, surrounded by prostitutes, alcoholics, and parolees, wouldn't there be a few questions raised? Don't you think there would be some comments that are made? I'm pretty sure that there would be. And Jesus' response is, healthy people don't need a doctor. Sick people. And really, doesn't that cut to the heart of it all? I came not to call those who think they are righteous, but those who know that they are sinners. I think it might be time to reassess just who the target is in our ministry. Shouldn't it be these very people Pray with me. Lord, I know I'm a sinner. But sometimes I'm kind of like that Pharisee who is next to the tax collector in the temple. The tax collector can't even lift his head up, can't even lift his eyes because he's so filled with shame at what he's done. Lord, I pray that you would help us not to compare my sins versus somebody else's sins versus somebody else's sins. We're all sinners. All of us are. You came to save those who were lost. You came to save those who were sick. And we are all sick with our own sin. I pray, Lord, that you'd remind us that my sin isn't better than someone else's sin. My sin isn't less offensive than someone else's sin, no matter what their sin might be. We have all sinned. We all fall short of the glory of God. And you came to save us all. And so, Lord, remind us that as we look around today, some of those who society may cast as a little less appealing, remind us those are exactly the people that you came to save. And so help us, Lord, to show the love of Christ to those around us this day and every day. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, friends. Hope you have a good day. We'll do this again tomorrow.